650 athletes were on hand for this year's OC Triathlon, held at the heart of Mission Viejo, Lake Mission Viejo. This year, we have a new overall men's champion, and for the ladies, a returning champ that defends her title. We'll talk with them both, plus hear from the new director of the event, and a lot more. I'm Paul Higgins. This is Coach's Corner, and all the action starts right now. Wendy, an incredible day in the city of Mission Viejo. Did you serve this up for us?
Well, you know, I'd like to take credit for it, but that happens a lot in Mission Viejo.
Yeah.
I'm sure the water temperature being here at the beginning of summer is a little cooler than some. I see a lot of swimmers coming out with wetsuits on, some without, so that's pretty brave, but
Yeah.
It's a great day in Mission Viejo.
And you know what it feels like to swim in this lake because you're an avid swimmer.
I love to swim, and I have swam in the lake. I've actually done a mile swim here before. With the Natador's Master Swim Team, we'll come out and do those swims every once in a while. So yes, back in the day, I came out here and swam, and my daughter did lifeguard training here. So this lake is just part of the community, and it's great to see it being used like this today.
Can you tell me the importance of an event like this? I mean, this is just a great event. It brings 650 athletes and their families out to the lake in the city of Mission Viejo, many for the first time.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing that's, I think, significant about this event and events like this is that Mission Viejo was really built on recreation and sports. And having a triathlon here really exemplifies the diversity of things that you can do in Mission Viejo. And riding a bike through the streets, just like in the '84 Olympics, it's not easy. There's a lot of hills.
And this street right out here is Olympiad, and
That's
we all know
right.
what happened there with the Olympics, as you mentioned. It's funny, every time I drive down Marguerite Parkway, because I lived off a street called Totoava back then, and I remember it was all lined up with people with their flags and watching the bike race.
Right.
And you go back even further than that, right, to the Battle of the Network Stars.
Yes,
that
at
took
the tennis
place
center.
at the tennis center, and the golf course. You know, that was the center part for the fireworks. So it's constantly evolving.
Yeah.
Do you say no to events? I mean, how does that go about if somebody wants to do an event here in your mind? Because this is a perfect event for the city.
It is. It really is. And you know, sometimes people don't see the big picture of why we do what we do. I hope that the residents understand Mission Viejo and the heritage is really about doing events like this.
Yeah.
We are not sitting on the coast. Yeah. So the draw to Mission Viejo, to shop in our shops, to go to our restaurants, all those things that happen when you bring things like this to the city, those are good things for the city. So we try to say yes, whenever we can, and we'll try new things. We've got questions about doing a high dive event here in the city, and we're looking at it, and you know, your first reaction is, "Oh Lord, how are we going to do that?" But then it's like, can we find a way?
Can you explain that to me? I'm curious. Tell me about that.
There's a gentleman who actually lives on the lake who is a diver from back in the day with the Natadors, as a matter of fact. And he competed in the Olympics, and he's very interested in bringing the sport of high dive, one event, potentially, maybe more, but to start one event and do a high dive in the lake. And of course that takes the lake, working with the city, and we'll take a look at that. And that's, I think, Red Bull sponsors some of those.
Okay.
So I don't know a lot of details about it, but it's he approached us, and it's like, well, the first reaction would be like, oh no, we've never done anything like that. We can't do that.
Yeah.
But you know what? The city tries to find a way, if it's possible, and make sure it works for our residents too, because they live here.
And you reminded me today that I graduated from high school with your husband.
Yes, you did, in 1980 from Capistrano.
Why did you just say that?
Sorry.
You weren't supposed to date me. I thought we had that communication going on.
You didn't mention that you didn't want me to do that. Well, that dates me too, because we're the exact same age.
25 is good, isn't it?
It's a great age. So from Capo Valley, in fact, that school, when then was not open.
Right.
I think I don't know where you went to your freshman year. So did he.
Yeah.
So so people used to travel to San Clemente to go to high school from Mission Viejo.
I know
it's amazing.
that. I used to catch the bus off of Villa Burgos down here by Bank of America back in the day.
Yeah.
But when you look at how proud you are of what you do, because you were mayor last year.
Yes.
And you'll probably be mayor again at some point.
Yes.
You got the smile.
We kind of rotate. So yeah.
So how gratifying is it when you come to an event like this to see all these people here?
Well, it makes me really proud. And you know, we do a lot of hard work on the city council. We make a lot of policy decisions. And so we work hard, and then you come out and you see this is kind of like the fruition of the decisions that we make, and you see the end result. And you see these folks, I mean, just watching, and there's a steady stream of swimmers coming in. It's just awesome to see.
Yeah.
And then, you know, same thing with the aquatic center, you know, making a lot of hard decisions about budgetary issues, costs, police services. Yeah. I mean, that all goes into all of these decisions. So to be at that grand opening at the aquatic center and see that all come together and see the people are thrilled.
Yeah.
You have a lot of spectators around the lake watching this event.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that live around the lake that are watching it. So it's a great event.
Well, I want to thank you for allowing us to come here and do the event, put it on TV, and all the hard work that you guys do in the city. Congratulations on another stellar year and another OC Triathlon.
Thank you. Well, we're proud on behalf of the entire City Council, because we're all together on this. It's really great to be in Mission Viejo today. We love it.
Why go anywhere else for your remodel project when you can find everything here at Decor & Tile? Our expert staff has years of experience, which is passed on to you whether you are a homeowner, contractor, or designer. At Decor & Tile, we make your project easy with our beautiful and unique showroom filled with tile, stone, decorative glass, wood tile, granite, and quartz like Pentel, Caesar Stone, and USA Cambria. Find out why Decor & Tile is the most referred showroom in South Orange County. Come in, call, or visit us on the web today.
Brandon, first of all, congratulations. You took over this event, and I knew it right away that something was different when I drove in today. It looks awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, we've been working hard to get it.
What made you decide to step into this race? Because obviously you've been involved in it, but not as a race director and in your company taking it over.
Yeah, well, the offer was presented, and we thought that we have a lot of experience and a big network that we could pull together to put on a great event.
650 athletes.
Yeah, it's
you
great.
Sold out. You turned people away.
We did. Yeah, we had people coming in yesterday to sign up, and yeah, there wasn't enough.
You don't have enough T-shirts, right, to give out. We need to get some more T-shirts made, right?
Yeah.
But how many racers could you actually, you know, if you were, is 650 the limit?
800.
800.
Yeah, we can get up to 800.
Right, but 650 is a great start for your first time doing this at this capacity.
Yeah,
what are you most pleased about this event?
I like the look of it. I like what we did with the new website and the shirts and the goodie bags and the swag that the athletes get that they can take home and they'll actually use and wear. I like that a lot. And then I really like our production company, Renegade Racing, has done an amazing job with operations and making sure that it's a safe, fun event for everybody.
It's, you know, you just mentioned it, safe and fun are the two big things. And with that, you have to work with the city, you have to work with the lake. There's a lot of logistics. You shut down streets, you have police involved. How challenging is that for someone like you to do that? I mean, for me, I'm like, that's a big thing to take on.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna be honest, our Renegade Racing, our production company, they handled all of that. I think I only went to a couple meetings and just to sign agreements and shake hands, but they did an amazing job getting that dialed in.
You're blessed, aren't you?
Yeah, we couldn't. You know, my excitement with the industry is the fun, festive, you know, the event, the actual execution day of, and you know, the timing, the awards, that kind of stuff. Not so much passionate about pulling permits.
Yeah, no. We know that's a challenge just to get landscaping done in our house.
Right.
Your thoughts about your background, can you share a little bit with us on that and how you segued into the sport?
Yeah, so started in the timing industry, on a timing company, Gemini Timing, and we time about 150 events a year all over the country, and we have a couple in Mexico, so we get around. And this event just kind of, so my dad passed away a year ago from pancreatic cancer.
Condolences on you to that.
Thank you. So this was just an opportunity to drive awareness. The Hirschberg Foundation, they're out of LA, really helped us through that time when my dad was sick. And so we thought this would be a great opportunity to raise some money for them and be able to give back to them.
What a great cause.
Yeah, thank you.
What a great cause. After this race, what do you do to kind of look at the successes and the things that you want to improve on as a race director? And you said you've timed 150 events a year for several years, so you know races like the back of your hand.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that aspect of it and how the athlete's perspective maybe play into what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of our time with the athletes is spent at check-in. So they came in yesterday to pick up their packets. They had questions. They are excited about the event. They're nervous about the event. So being able to deal with the athletes every weekend, every athlete in every city, from triathlon to marathon to jogathon, it's nice to be able to see, we get a real insight as to what they're looking for.
Right. And in an event like this, you get very, very good racers, and you get racers that are competing for the very first time.
Yeah.
What do you tell those first timers?
Read their athlete guide, pay attention, come to the course talks, be as prepared as they can be, ask as many questions as they can ask, and just make sure that they're really well prepared. That way they're not stressed out and panicking race morning. We let them set up their bikes yesterday so they could get that done and out of the way, and then be able to just show up and do their event.
That's a huge thing to do it the day before. It takes off that whole confusion in the morning.
Yeah.
Where do I put my bike? Where's the transition area? And you know how important that is. When you look at this event today, it was absolutely beautiful morning. There was no fog. If you remember in the past, we've had a lot of fog. So you were blessed from the get-go.
Yeah.
Your thoughts about the future of the event and where you want to take it?
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to have, 800 athletes. We'd love to add maybe some other distances. This Olympic distance course is a challenging race. The run is brutal. The bike is challenging as well, the way up Santiago Canyon. So we'd like to be able to add maybe a shorter distance, like a sprint distance event. They would allow for more beginner athletes to be able to come out and, hang out with their friends. They're not necessarily ready for the Olympic, but they're ready for the sprint. They want to be
right. And this, can I ask you quickly about the kids? Is there an aspect for kids, the younger boys and girls, to get into a triathlon?
Yeah, that's another thing that's on the table, is figuring out how to get the kids involved, how to do a small little mini triathlon for them, or a duathlon for them, or even a kids run, just to get, we have all this downtime between, the race starting and the athletes are out in their event, so there's family here, and to give them something to do would be amazing.
And I have to say that, this triathlon and triathlon in general is one of the fastest growing sports in the world.
Yeah.
So you've picked a good one.
Yeah, they just launched the Time to Try campaign through USAT, and it's really driving numbers. It's amazing.
I want to congratulate you on a great run event, and I know that we're going to see each other several more times. And again, for you to take on the event, come out and do it the way you're doing it, fantastic.
Thank you
great
so
job.
much. Thank you. Thanks.
Mission Basilica School is a Catholic parochial school with single-grade classrooms from pre-kindergarten through 8th grade.
We have absolutely the best to offer in education. We don't just educate the child academically. They are nurtured spiritually. They are guided through their spiritual journey. They are loved, every being of them.
A blue ribbon school for academic excellence, located on the beautiful grounds of Mission San Juan Capistrano, Mission Basilica School.
Max, we did this a couple years ago, but you didn't win it. You won it today.
Yeah.
And you were in the lead from the very first, from the very first part of the swim to the end of the race. Came in really feeling strong today. Tell me about that.
Yeah, today was kind of a fun day. Everything came together really nicely. Honestly, not even my best effort here. It's just kind of luck as it worked out. So, happy with that, and moving through the season so far pretty well this year.
We talked about this a couple years ago when you're on, and the swim this morning, there was no fog, great conditions. Can you tell me about the swim and how it opens up and how you got it out to such a quick lead?
I always try to start the swim fast, because normally kind of a group will form, or you want to just be there and see who else is swimming fast. And so started off hard and kind of looked around. There wasn't anyone there, so just kind of kept pushing the pace and went from there.
How do you feel this year in the sense of, you're just telling me you're 33, right? 33 years old. That's like prime time right now for your body. How's your body feeling? How's your health?
Pretty good. Last couple of weeks of training have been so-so, but working with a new coach this year and everything's really clicking. Had a great race in Oceanside. Should have raced well in Texas at the Ironman North American Champs there, but did some nutritional issues. So everything's pointing in the right direction.
Yeah. Tell me about how you get your body in shape for this type of race, both, you know, what you eat, if you can shed some light on that, because I know there's athletes that want to know when a guy wins a race, what's the secret? You know, can you tell me about first your diet? Is there a secret to it?
Not really. Just veggies and meat and some grains, you know, and just try to keep it simple. And my secret weapon, personally, I have to say, is Pop-Tarts. that's my breakfast of choice on race day.
Okay, brown sugared Pop-Tarts?
Brown sugar, maple brown sugar Pop-Tarts, a cup of coffee, and then a
toaster?
Red Bull.
In the toaster?
No.
Wait a minute.
Cold.
A Red Bull?
Yeah, caffeine and sugar. That's what I run off of when it comes down time to training.
Yeah, so I mean, it works for you.
Yeah.
It works for you.
I've kind of played around with it over the years, and that's something you don't always want to eat at like 4:35 in the morning, so that's kind of my little treat.
Right.
And at that point, I mean, I'm burning that sugar, so I really don't care what I put in.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, tell me, is this something, we talked about it, is this occupation, and is this something you do on the side? And if it is, what do you do for a living and kind of generate this? Because this is not an inexpensive sport.
No.
It's a sport that you really have to be all in.
Yeah, no, I'm a full-time physical therapist, and so this is just a fun side hobby and something to kind of keep me out of trouble. So it's good. It just keeps me focused. It ties in well with my job too. So I work with a lot of triathletes and do some coaching and stuff like that. So it's just, I don't know, it's just part of my lifestyle more so than anything else.
There's some guys out there probably kind of irritated with you right now because that's my side job. It's kind of what I do for fun. And here you are winning a race. You know, I know there's 650 athletes that compete in this, and you know, there's not a ton of professionals or anything like that, but this is a premier race for you and what you do. How do you rank this race in the races that you compete in?
In terms of like importance for me personally, this one is kind of important because this is my backyard, so it does feel really nice. In terms of like competition, definitely not up there. So racing in the pro field at like, you know, a lot of the 70.3 and Ironman series that I race, it's a little different.
Right.
But yeah, it definitely feels nice to kind of be in the front for once. You know? So it's good. It's just, you know, all it is making it a priority and fitting that time in. I mean, we all have busy lives, busy schedules, and it's just, if you take the time and you put in the work, you know, you can get the results. And it's not, there's no secret mix or anything special or fancy or different that I do. It's just the consistency day in and day out.
When you talk to other athletes that might want to get involved in this sport, whether they're a swimmer in high school or college or track and field, what do you tell them? I mean, it's a big step to go from a single sport to a triathlete. I have some people on the set that, you know, that work with us here on the show. They go, this looks like fun. I'd like to do this. And, you know, they're in their early 20s. What do you say to those people?
Just enjoy it. It is a little more hectic than training for one sport at a time because you're always juggling. You usually got to plan on doing two things a day to kind of mix it up. But end of the day, I mean, aerobic work is aerobic work. And if you just do a little bit of everything, you can come out here and finish one.
Yeah.
I mean, I always say I sound a little weird when I say it's not that hard to finish a triathlon.
Right.
It's just then once you've done that, then it gets hard because then you have expectations and then you're trying to improve and do things like that. That's when it gets, you know, hard.
Right.
The hardest part is always the money coming in, like, you know, getting the bike and the wetsuit and all that, you know, and then there's all this cool aero stuff, but you don't really need most of that to do well even, or just to enjoy it. And it's got to be fun. If it's not fun, you shouldn't do it.
That's great advice, excellent advice, especially with not going out and having to spend thousands of dollars, get what you need and go out and compete. This race, though, is competitive in the sense because you might be competing against other people, but the terrain is pretty tough. This is not an easy, this is a hilly course.
No, I love this course. I mean, I train on this road, San Diego Canyon, all the time. So I know kind of every pothole going out there, but it's fun to get out there and have a little extra race motivation. And the run just kind of is kicking the pants. So I always like it. I tend to run well here, which I like. I just haven't really put it together. So you know, across all three.
Can you paint the picture in the sense for us that don't go out there and run this race, what it feels like when you're running through neighborhoods and that kind of thing? Are you getting support within the community?
Yeah, you always see people out there. I mean, I kind of don't really tune that out. All I hears my breathing and my heart rate in my throat and tastes a little blood. So it's kind of hard to just focus down. But yeah, no, there's always some people out there. There's, you know, the drawing. I like to read the little things that they draw on the ground with the chalk. Yeah. Just anything to kind of distract from the hurt.
You know, I know that you're having fun because you came across the finish line kind of like surfing it in, right? You're flying in. Tell me about that big smile on your face, and you looked like you had a great time.
Yeah, like I said, I do this for fun, so I try to have fun, you know. I also, my definition of fun might be a little weird because it's like I love it when my legs are burning and it just hurts all day long. So that in that regard, it may be a little different, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's got to be fun.
You did a great job, and thanks for doing the interview, and thanks for taking the time out. You're a great example of what this event is all about, and congratulations once again for winning the OC Triathlon.
Thanks.
Why go anywhere else for your remodel project when you can find everything here at Untitled? Our expert staff has years of experience which is passed on to you whether you are a homeowner, contractor, or designer. At Untitled, we make your project easy with our beautiful and unique showroom filled with tile, stone, decorative glass, wood tile, granite, and quartz like Pentel, Caesar Stone, and USA Cambria. Find out why Untitled is the most referred showroom in South Orange County. Come in, call, or visit us on the web today.
Mission Basilica School is a Catholic parochial school with single-grade classrooms from pre-kindergarten through 8th grade.
We have absolutely the best to offer in education. We don't just educate the child academically. They are nurtured spiritually. They are guided through their spiritual journey. They are loved, every being of them.
A blue ribbon school for academic excellence, located on the beautiful grounds of Mission San Juan Capistrano, Mission Basilica School.
Stephanie, first of all, congratulations. You won it last year, so I have to apologize that I didn't have you on the show last year.
That's okay.
You know, how do you do this back-to-back? Tell me about that.
How do you do?
This winning thing that you've done.
Oh, I don't win everything. I train hard, and the race is supposed to be easy, although this year it was really hard. I don't know why.
Tell me, it is a challenging course.
It's
a little bit brutal in some aspect. What is the most challenging aspect for you on the course?
The swim. I'm a horrible swimmer. I definitely have to work on it no matter what. The swim it's a mental game. The first 50 yards or so, it's like, can I actually keep going or not, or can I just give up right here and drown?
How do you decide that? Because obviously you're a great athlete. So does it automatically click in like, okay, I'm going to just push on?
I am a people pleaser, and so when I know that I have people and my coach watching, then I'm like, they're gonna be mad at you, you gotta keep going, just keep going, they're gonna be angry.
So it's kind of like, and in one sense, you're kind of motivated by failing.
Yes, yeah.
And that's a good motivating factor, right?
Exactly.
That's kind of the way I am. And your thoughts, can you give us a little background information on what you were before you became a triathlete?
I just tell people I'm really good at exercising. I'm not a triathlete. I was doing running. I've always ran my entire life.
Did you run in high school?
I did,
Okay.
Yeah, and then some health issues got in the way for college, so I couldn't do it for college, but I'm always a runner. And then my best friend got me into cycling 5 or 6 years ago now. We did a couple trips down the coast and up in Oregon, and then my current coach was like, you could be really good at triathlons, you should try it. So I did one and qualified for nationals off of it and said, well, Worlds is in Rotterdam, that would be really fun to go to, so why not try? And here I am.
You told me that you're from Canyon Lake, California, and near Temecula, right?
Yes.
And it's much warmer there, but it's kind of similar to this, because we're inland here. So you're used to racing or competing and training in the heat. Is that a big plus when you get on a course like this?
Yeah, today's course was actually beautiful. The temperature was absolutely perfect, to be honest with you, because it wasn't that hot. Nationals is usually a lot hotter because it was in Omaha last year, it'll be Cleveland this year, and it's humid and hot. So for training for that purpose, it is fantastic. Yes.
Yeah. This triathlon that you're doing, you're saying, you said you're not very good at the swim. I like to challenge you on that because you're probably pretty good. Your background is running. So how does the bike fit into this? And is that a big factor with you?
Oh yeah, my coach this year has made that my major focus, and so I was about 5 minutes faster this year on the bike than I was last year, and so despite feeling not very good out there. I will say I think the motorcycle helped. It was kind of like, all right, pace off the motorcycle. If he slows down, you know you're not going fast enough.
Well, good. Hopefully we added to that.
So it was kind of one of the, whenever you hear the brake, you're like, oh, that means I'm slowing down. Okay, just go.
Yeah.
So the bike has been a major focus this year because you can make up a lot of time on a bike.
Did you ever think when you were, after college that you would go into a sport like this? You mentioned that your trainer, your coach said, hey, you'd be good at a triathlon. When did it click in for you, and what's the future of this for you?
It didn't really click yet. I still don't necessarily enjoy the competition, but I do like to travel, and so I'm really excited for Australia. And pretty much my goal is, as long as it keeps taking me around the world, I'll keep doing it. Yeah. Once it goes somewhere boring, I might not do it. But so far, it's just wherever I can travel, I'll go.
I was talking to some of the athletes earlier. This is not an inexpensive sport. It is definitely a costly sport. How do you fund yourself? I know I'm looking at your attire. There's no sponsors on it.
Nope, not at all.
So how do we get sponsors on that for you so you can go out but tell me the background first on that.
Well, most of it is my own funding or my parents funding me, and it's just, luckily it's mostly startup costs that usually be the expensive part. But although shoes, I go through shoes in about a month, definitely need some shoes.
So it's a thing that it's almost like a hobby, but it's something a little bit more than that, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the contemplation, if I can get really good and do really well at nationals this year, it might consider going pro. We'll see what kind of happens, and definitely need sponsors at that point.
Absolutely. And if you did go pro, would you do 70.3s or would you?
No, I'd still do Olympic, and considering if I could get, because I wasn't allowed to taper for this race, so seeing how I do at nationals will really dictate whether I even consider contemplating going to the Olympics. Okay. So we'll see.
And that's a big, do you mind, can I ask you how old you are?
I'm 29.
So you're 20.
So I race in the 30.
This is a great time in your life, right?
Yep.
This is like, in the next couple of years, is either you pull it and go, or you hold back.
Yep.
And when do you think that you'll make that decision, and do you even need to make that decision?
I don't need to. I'm not in a rush.
Yeah. Now, you have a great support staff.
Yeah, they're
Your husband's
awesome.
here. Tell me your parents are here. Tell me what.
They're my California parents.
Your California
So my
parents
live in Connecticut, so they're my California parents. They're my best friend's parents.
I noticed a little bit of Connecticut in here. Where in Connecticut are you from?
Fairfield County area.
Okay.
So right outside New York. Yeah.
And did you go to school back there?
Boston.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, good. So this is a great place for you to be.
It's the weather. Let's be real.
Absolutely. Do you like the Red Sox, or who do you like?
So we're from Connecticut, so we don't have a professional sports team, right? So it's the Dodgers out here.
Okay.
Because they were a New York team. So.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so the West Side. That's good. Your thoughts about what would you advise young ladies in their teens that want to maybe do this? A young lady might be a great swimmer, a great runner, might follow in your footsteps one day.
Just try it. You never know until you try it. Most of these things are just go out there and do it, you know. Swimming is really honestly the hardest, I will say that, because if you weren't a swimmer, which I wasn't a swimmer growing up, it's one of the hardest things to pick up. But the running and the bike is easy, so especially if you're a swimmer, do it. You'll be fine.
The guys organizing 5 Points did just a great job of this event.
Yeah.
What can you say about the organization and just the smoothness of how this operates?
Yeah, no, this event is awesome. I really do enjoy it. That's why I came back this year, because it was, especially the course, a lot of times you can get lost on the courses, and so they did an awesome job sending you directions, where you're going, and it was just really well run. And I do actually kind of like that it's different transitions, because it doesn't allow as much of kind of like claustrophobia and everyone trying to cram in and you don't have all your stuff, and so I really enjoy that for it.
You did a great job, Stephanie. I congratulate you, the first lady across on the triathlon today, and you're a great inspiration for every young lady that wants to do this sport, and I hope to see you again next year.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome.